Hello everybody, welcome to Finding Purpose in Your Detours talk show. My name is Narmon Abe and I'm your host. I'm going to be talking on the topic of leadership. And I think one of the reasons why God includes detours in our lives is to shape us and prepare us for leadership. Because one of the difficult things that can happen to people in leadership is to step into leadership that they did not grow or were groomed for. And so what Detours does is to shape us and to prepare us for that role of leadership. But then, what is leadership and who is a leader? Leadership is about serving your gifts to the world. And I think being a leader is finding or being able to see your own way. I think the first person you must lead before you lead somebody else is to be able to see your own path before anyone else out there can follow you. So a leader is someone who is able to see his own way. As a matter of fact, leaders do not go out there and say, or they don't set out to say, today I'm going to be a leader. No, leaders, they go out living their lives and expressing themselves fully. And when that expression becomes of value, then they become leaders. So at first they are able to find their own way. They are able to see their own way. And when people start seeing their expression, start to seeing the path that that person is going as of value, then they become leaders. So your goal in life should not necessarily be to become a leader, but your goal should be to use yourself completely, all your gifts, all your talents. And when that becomes of value, when you express yourselves fully, then you are able to become a leader. And earlier when I talked about detours, I talked about God using detours, including detours on our path to help and shape us for leadership. There's an example in the Bible, an example of Moses. Moses had to flee from Egypt into the wilderness in Midian. And he found himself there taking care after the flock of his father-in-law. But God was preparing him in this place for leadership, because it was this same wilderness that he was going to pass through when he was taking the children of Israel to their promised land. So in your life, embrace your detours. Don't curse your detours, because it's in the process of these detours that God shapes us, that God prepares us for leadership. So leaders come in many different sizes. They come in many different shapes. But now, today, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the ingredients that makes true leaders. Because I strongly believe that every one of us has got a leadership potential inside them. Every one of us is born a leader. We are all born to be leaders. We all have leadership responsibility. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the ingredients that makes true leaders. And number one, leaders have got a vision. They've got a guiding vision and they commit to it. That's very important, because vision helps you, or it gives you a picture where you are going. And I deliberately said they commit to it, because I think we are now living in a time where we have too much hit and run visionaries. They have a vision today, 2-3 months it doesn't work, they give up. They try to find something, 2-3 months it doesn't work, they give up. But the Bible says, the oldest book in the world, the Bible, in Habakkuk 2 verse 3, says something interesting. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. For in the end, it shall speak. At the end it shall speak. Though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come to pass, and it shall not tarry. The most important words there are at the appointed time, at the end, and wait for it. Waiting is not just sitting around. Waiting demands more than that. As a matter of fact, patience is not just waiting. Patience is more than that. Patience involves productive activity. Patience means doing your very best with the resources that God has made available to you, while understanding that the results that you seek for are worth the required time and effort. So if you have a vision, if you really want to be a true leader that people would follow, that people would look up to, then have a vision and commit to it. Because at the end, although it delays, the word tarry means delays. Although it delays, at the end it shall surely come to pass. You cannot have a vision that will not be fully manifested. There's no vision like that unless you copied it from someone else. But you cannot be given a vision. You cannot have a vision that will not fully manifest. Like I said, unless you copied it from someone else. But if you really got a vision, then wait for it, have patience, do your very best with the resources that God has made available to you, while you understand that the results that you are seeking for are worth the required time and effort. So have a vision and commit to it. Every true leader, if you really want to be a true leader, number one ingredient is to have a vision and commit to it. Number two ingredient is to have passion. Every true leader must have a passion. What is passion? Passion is a sense of energy to do something. There's that energy that you really want to get things done. That's what a passion is all about, a sense of energy to do something. And when your passion is communicated, it creates hope. And hope brings inspiration to others. And when people see your passion, when you are able to communicate your passion, it creates hope. I think that's what all great leaders have done. All the great leaders that we admire right now, they communicated their passion. Thousands and thousands of people gathered to hear Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream. And when he was delivering his I Have a Dream speech, thousands and thousands of people gathered. He was able to communicate his passion. He didn't have a plan. He didn't tell them that I have a plan. This is what is going to happen. No, he just had a dream. But he communicated his passion to his people, to the people that were following him. And when that passion was communicated, he created hope and inspired the people that were listening to him. All the great leaders, Nelson Mandela, Jesus Christ, name them, they were all made great leaders because they were able to communicate their passion. So as a leader, be able to communicate passion. And passion is a very interesting word. Passion comes together with enthusiasm. And enthusiasm comes from a Greek word called entheos. And the word entheos is a very interesting word. It means God within. So that means a man with a vision, a man with a passion, God is possessed in the heart of a man. God is in the heart of a man who is possessed by a vision, who is so determined to see his dreams come true. So have passion. Like I said, passion comes together with enthusiasm. When passion and enthusiasm are combined, then you have people over following you, because you cannot say you're a leader unless you have followers. That's what makes leaders. So number two ingredient, if you really want to become a great leader, is to have passion. And number 3 ingredient is integrity. True leaders have integrity. They stay true to themselves, and also they're honest with what they say. Their actions and what they say, they make sure that they match. Because if you don't have integrity, people want to trust you. And if people want to trust you, they won't follow you. And so integrity have got 3 essential parts. Number one essential part of integrity is self-knowledge. As a leader, you must know yourself. Know all your weaknesses, all your faults, and use them directly to your own advantage. You must be able to know yourself as a leader. That's the number one essential part of integrity. And number 2 is candor. Candor is a key to self-knowledge. And candor is based on honesty of thought and action. Like I said earlier on, the things you say, the words that you say should be matching with your actions. Because you cannot be saying a different thing today and then doing a different thing tomorrow. You must practice the things that you preach. And that's what makes great leaders. People must be able to trust you. And the third part of third essential part of integrity is maturity. True leaders are willing to learn from others. They understand that leadership is not just about giving orders, but it's also having that willingness to learn from others. They understand that they cannot know it all. They are able to admit that I cannot do this better, but you can. They are able to learn from others, the willingness to learn from others. That's maturity. Leadership is not just about giving orders. Do this, do that. No, it's about also maturity, understanding that you are working with people. They have to be valued. They have to be respected. When they have done better, tell them you are the best on what you do. Don't take all the glory to yourself. So that's the third essential part of leadership. And another part ingredient of a true leader is that they are daring and curious. A true leader must be curious, the willingness to learn, to keep learning. They have the capacity. They understand that the most tremendous experience of life is the learning process. And the saddest time is when you think you know enough. So leaders, they have got that insatiable desire to learn. They are willing to learn. They have got a hunger to learn from books, to learn from the people surrounding them. Because every man, you can learn anything from any man that you can meet. Any man that you meet right now, they've got something, knowledge that can be of value to your life. So true leaders have to be daring and curious, able to take risks. That makes true leaders daring and curious. True leaders have to be daring and curious. Also, true leaders have to be able to handle crisis. Your emotional quotient, you have to be able to handle crisis. Don't easily give up as a leader. The willingness, the desire, the strength to handle crisis. That's what makes leaders. Because in every crisis, I like the Chinese meaning of the word crisis. They say in Chinese the word crisis have got 2 meanings. It means danger, but it also means opportunity. I think it was Ellen Nightingale once said, Where there's opportunity lacks danger, and where there's danger, there lacks opportunity. So you have to be able to handle crisis as a true leader. You have to be able to handle crisis and understand that it's in these setbacks, it's in these challenges that you encounter that there lies opportunities. There's the saying that I normally say, I always say, there are people out there who pray for God to take away, to lift up every burden on their life. But I normally say, at every stage of my life, I pray that God gives me a burden. For it's in the process of overcoming this burden, there lies an opportunity. I'm able to identify something that I didn't know. There lies a greater purpose. In overcoming every burden, there lies a greater purpose. So at every stage of my life, I pray for a burden, something that I have to be overcoming at every stage of my life. Because in overcoming, there lies a greater purpose. So true leaders must be able to embrace, to deal or to handle with the crisis. And also it's important that as a true leader, you must have mentors and friends. People will be able to demand much more than what you can give. Because as a person, we all have qualities, we all have potentials that we have not been able to tap from. So have mentors, have friends that can see much or demand much from you than what you are able to give. Still talking about potential, because most people don't know how much they've got. Most people don't know they can become leaders. They think like leadership, to become a leader, you have to come from a certain class or a certain group of people. But like I said earlier on, everyone is born a leader. I was recently speaking to some college students. They just selected them as leaders, a students' representative committee. And then I asked them, I told them that a small car has got about 5,000 spare parts. So I asked them, like, which of the spare car is the most important spare part that without it the car cannot fully function? So they began giving me answers. Some said it was the engine, some said it was the tires, some said it was the steering wheel. They continued to give me answers until I came to a point that I think you guys have given me enough answers. So the answer that I gave them shocked them, because I told them that every spare part in the car is very important. Every spare part in the car is very important. Imagine a car without the wheels. Imagine a car without a steering wheel. Imagine a car without the engine. So every spare part in the car is very important. And just like us humans, every one of us have got a leadership potential. Every one of us is born a leader. That there are some areas that they cannot fully function without your availability. So start looking at yourself as a leader. Start tapping into yourself, searching within yourself. Look down within yourself, deep within yourself. And I know you begin to realize that you have got those potentials to become a great leader. And if you can work on these ingredients that I've given you, work on them, check and tick on them every day. Do I have a vision that I'm committing to? Am I communicating my passion to other people? Do I have integrity? Do I have mentors and friends who can help me to become the person, to become the better leader that the world can say this person really lived his life for the betterment of the community, for the betterment of the society, or for the betterment of this whole world? So I have friends. A wise man once said, if I have seen farther than others, it's by standing on the shoulders who have gone before me. So have mentors, have friends that will be able to show you how far you can go in life. Thank you so much, and I hope you work on these ingredients that I've given you, and I hope you continue listening to this session so that you can become a great leader that this world is looking for. Thank you so much, and until next time, I'll see you again on this Finding Purpose in Your Detours talk show. And don't forget to get yourself a copy of the Detour and see how God can use your detour to shape you and prepare you for leadership, even as He also prepares you for the things that He already has in store for you. Thank you.